90.3 FM, New York.
Each year, 650,000 individuals.
If you or someone you know is receiving federal benefits from Social Security, Veterans Affairs,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Sports at the Have. It's Chi-Chi and Annie on the mic with you, as usual, every single Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. Thank you for everyone listening online, whcr.org. Shout out to everyone who's listening on the radio, 90.3 FM. We have Sports at the Half again today, and if you guys want to join the conversation, we have a guest in the studio. We'll introduce him. Well, actually, he'll have to introduce himself momentarily because we stole him, right? The number here is 212-650-6903. Again, that's 212-650-6903. Week 7 on the NFL was awesome.
It was a clutch game for, I'd say, both of our
New York teams.
I
think the Jets held their own.
Their offense was really surprising.
Screwed up.
It showed that they have the potential to win.
You know what I don't like right now?
But the same potential to lose.
Wait. You know what I don't like right now? That we're starting off the show with the losers. I'm sorry. We have a guest in the studio, and we're Giants fans. So let's start there. Introduce yourself and let everyone know.
How are you guys? Thanks for having me on. I'm Dave Thalberg. I've been a Giants fan since way back, and I've been living and dying with this team for a long, long time. Yeah. And yesterday I was at the game, and it was a crazy game. It was a lame game. Eli was off. Mm-hmm. Did you see? Eli was just missing his receivers. And his receivers come back to help him. But then, of course, what happens at the end? It's Eli time. 1 minute and 20-something seconds left. Like, okay, no problem. We got a timeout. We have Victor Cruz. We have Hakeem. We're good. Boom, 77 yards, touchdown, and we win. You know what? That's how it's supposed to be. The excitement there. Big Al is a guy who sits next to me in our seats every week. He fell about 3 aisles down, and he is big. He's jumping up and down. He's sliding down the seats. It was awesome. And you know what? It's what the Giants are about. The Giants are a comeback kind of team, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And one thing, too, that I've noticed about the Giants, and even as of late especially, the fact that Eli Manning has been so great and so clutch in the fourth quarter and overtime with those comebacks, is that even sometimes when they are down, you just expect, that's okay. As long as Eli Manning gets the ball back with at least 2 minutes, he's one of the best in the hurry up. I'll say that 2-minute offense, I always count on the Giants to actually make something happen, and for them to score like 20 seconds after the Redskins scored, was amazing.
Mm-hmm,
I love Eli Manning.
You know, we were at the Browns game a few weeks ago. They're down 14-0 after about a minute and nothing. Like, it's okay. First quarter. We're not a first quarter team. I will say, though, and I think all the Giants respect it, too, see RG3 in person. Oh, my goodness.
That's what OC said.
So,
OC actually said that. I gave him the name Sir. Sir. He is like one of the best quarterbacks that we have played all season. And we play them again, and I'm looking forward to it.
And then we're playing them again and again for a good 12 years.
For the next 10 years, he's going to be a problem for the Giants.
And a lot of other teams, too.
Yeah, no, he was amazing. But you know what? The Giants came through yesterday, and it shows, what a first-place team is about. And it was important for them to win a game in the NFC East.
Yes, of course, because we were already 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Losing
that
Eagles,
first game against the Cowboys. So I'm glad they actually picked up this win. It did come down to the wire, though.
Sure did.
Which is, frankly, for a defense that actually has played well, to go up against a young talent like RG3, but then also to sort of leave it on Eli Manning's shoulders, which he has really handled very well over the past couple of years, the way the Giants have played. But I don't like this down to the wires. Am I the only person who's... you were at the game.
Oh, let me tell you. I much prefer to be able to say, it's fourth quarter. Let's leave. Let's go hang out in the parking lot for a little while. Mm-hmm. I could tell first quarter, like, we're going to be here till the bitter end today, aren't we? And we were.
Yeah. And frankly, I thought even walking into this season that the Giants should be atop the NFC East. I'm very surprised. Like, I think everyone is.
Number one.
But happy to see a young talent like RG3 excel so early in his career. And then even if you look on the flip side of that, you have a guy like Cam Newton who did similar things when he first started, but is now seeming to fall apart.
The sophomore slump, right?
Sophomore slump. Yeah. And you always hate to hear that. And sometimes I hope it's not true. But looking at him, even his post-game comments, someone asked him a question, was like, what do you guys need to do to turn it around? And he was like, I'm going to leave here. I'm going to leave you guys a suggestion box. You guys let me know. Like, what? That's not what you want your team leader saying. You don't want a guy who has his, you want to see him upset that they're losing and that their record is like 1-5 or 1-6 or whatever they are right now. But you definitely don't want somebody who seems sort of detached like that.
So they got to learn how to talk to the media. They have to learn. More important, they need to learn how to talk to the fans, because the fans are the ones who are paying for ridiculous prices for tickets, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you got to support them. You know what? You got to you got to know how to lose the right way. Yeah. You're never going to win every single game except for the Dolphins back in 1972, and who cares about them anyway? Right? Nobody cares about them. I'm sick of hearing about them. I'm happy when somebody loses a game, so we don't have to hear about those guys anymore. But no, you have to win respectfully. You have to lose respectfully, and that's what the Giants are. You got Eli Manning. He's not a showboat. He's not exciting. Nobody still thinks of him as like the great quarterback.
Nope.
No,
he is.
They never will.
But he is. No, I think they will once his career's over.
He doesn't date celebrities.
He's married. He has a baby.
He lives in Hoboken.
Yeah, right.
Come on. He drives a Toyota or something.
Right. He drives a Prius. I wouldn't be surprised. Exactly. But and that's the thing about his demeanor is that even remember when there was sort of that shift happening when Tiki Barber left and Michael Strahan left, and they were talking about him being a leader in the locker room, and it's like he really didn't have the opportunity, I think, with those sort of bigger presences also there. But looking at him now, even sort of, and I say this lovingly because I love Eli Manning, but he has that like, oh shucks,
oh yeah,
even his
kind of like
his
humble.
Voice,
he's like real,
everything he says, you're just like, oh, Eli.
Laid back, yeah.
But he is also so clutch and so key, and so he's top 3 in the league right now. I don't care what anybody says.
He doesn't get ruffled. The guys in the huddle say, we're down. He's like, all right, here's what we got to do. Let's go ahead and go do it.
Very even keeled. Yep.
He just does it.
He's very calculated.
And what's great about this team, what's exciting, and also people always say, the Giants are a ground and pound team. NFC East, they think back to Bill Parcells and all of that. This guy throws the ball deep.
Yeah.
How many pass plays does Victor Cruz have that go over 50 yards or over 40 yards? And Hakeem, they just go deep, and they make the plays that just blow your minds. And like Big Al falling three rows in front of him.
And the thing about Eli, too, is that I think that he can make the best out of, when they say when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Eli Manning has made the most out of...
You can't spell elite without saying Eli.
You can't.
At all.
But he's made the most out of whatever wide receivers or tight ends that he has available. Yep. Look how many names we've rattled off already, and look who was here. Manningham is no longer here. I love the Manning to Manningham.
I used to love the connection.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Kevin Boss did his... it was great while he was here, and he's bounced around the league quite a bit now with the concussion issues. Jeremy Shockey is no longer here, screwing up the locker room and actually giving Eli a chance to really take control.
Yep.
So we've seen a lot of guys come and go, but we've also seen Eli say, okay, who's up next? And that since you're on the field, you're going to catch this ball.
Yep. And for the most part, they're doing well with others, basically.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of injuries. We got Dominic Hickson, we got Ruben Randall, we got
every year
David Wilson coming out of the back, and he's exciting too. The fact we have a kick return game, David Wilson, that kid's going to be a star.
I can't wait.
He's going to be a star.
Fast.
Yeah.
He's fast.
When he scored that 40-yard little dash for a touchdown against Cleveland a couple weeks ago, and then he's going to break him.
Even that the kick return that he had, I think it was the week before.
Yeah.
Like 60 yards or something, 70 yards or something crazy. I think also, I'll say this, he runs hard, similar to Bradshaw. Even on the Washington side, Morris, that kid Morris, he reminds me of Bradshaw, but like the healthy version with 2 actual feet.
Yeah, that's something I think we do need to worry about. Our offensive line's great. We got the sacks yesterday, but we couldn't stop anybody from running. I think I probably could have gained a couple of yards. Maybe not me, but
Well, I could have done
it.
You.
All right.
But yeah, and even our running game yesterday was not really where it was supposed to be. The Giants only 19 carries, 64 yards total, but like you said, Washington was really able to run on us. 38 carries total, 248 yards. That kid Morris had 22 carries for 120 yards. That's definitely not what we want to see, and that's definitely the reason why we don't want these games coming down to the wire. Mm-hmm. Because look what we put Eli in position for, to just win the game, and he just goes in like, okay, I'll do it.
Yep.
Which I love
effortlessly.
Yep. He's not going to be able to do it every time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, some days, like today, like yesterday, he had a pretty bad. He threw for 340 yards or something, but it still wasn't a great game.
No,
by
it wasn't.
him.
And 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions.
Bad interceptions.
And he looked sort of like the Eli of old that everyone was sort of, on the fence.
Uh-oh,
exactly. Here we go.
Comes.
It could be another game where Eli has 3-4 interceptions and they lose the game, and you can't really fault him, but you can. It's one of those. It's like it's a love relationship, and you're like, oh well, he just made a mistake.
Yeah. We had a conversation yesterday. We're like, okay, you're today in their prime, you're allowed to draft one of the brothers. Who do you want as your quarterback? Do you want Eli or do you want Peyton? Who's the better quarterback? Eli's got two Super Bowls.
I want Eli.
You want Eli?
Right. Who's the most
a lot of people want the
playoff super?
Well, it's Eli then. It's Eli then, because even the knock on Peyton Manning early in his career was that they made it to the playoffs every single year almost, but they couldn't actually win a Super Bowl, or he wasn't clutching the playoffs. I think I would have to go. Oh,
that's a tough one, isn't it? Because at first you go, oh, Peyton, right?
Yeah.
No question, Peyton.
Well,
but
who do you want to win, take you to the Super Bowl? Who can you trust to take you there?
I like Peyton's ability, but I like Eli's
IQ.
Sort of. I even like Peyton's IQ maybe more. I may have to write an essay on this. It's very
write it in the blog.
Okay, yes. So finally, the Giants won. Well, not finally, but we're excited for the Giants to be atop the NFC East with a 5-2 record, beating finally for the first time this season a division opponent.
When last year
they got swept by Washington last year.
God. And I was there at FedEx Field.
Oh, that's right.
Let's not talk about it.
Oh.
Hey, who are they playing next week? They're at Dallas.
At
Dallas, all right.
Our Cowboys.
Who?
Cowgirls.
Excuse me? Oh, okay, thank you. I thought you said our, and I almost hit you. But yes, okay, so then...
And you know what Barry Cofield said? He said, Eli...
Former Giant.
Former Giant. He said Eli is like Joe Montana right now. That's big.
Oh, shout out to Barry Cofield. Not only is he a former Giant, he also went to Northwestern. Shout out to Northwestern. Go UNU. Woohoo!
Your alma mater.
Yeah. So, also City College, because I've done a lot of things and I've been a lot of places.
And also, I think we have to give credit to Chase Blackburn, who made a team high of 11 tackles, and he stripped Santana Moss of the ball with 46 seconds left in the game. So
that was a good effort, I think, all around by the Giants. I think the defensive line didn't hold up as much as I thought as far as us getting run on, but Eli Manning, of course, if you can have anybody in the fourth quarter at this point in the league, if you look at all the quarterbacks, I think most people, maybe 9 out of 10,
would go with Eli.
Would probably go with Eli. So let's switch over to another New York team. Let's look at the Jets and how they ended up losing this game to the Patriots, because all they did, the Jets shot themselves in the foot literally 6 times.
Too many times. It was like one of those Mark Sanchez. His inconsistency is it's ridiculous. But at the same time, he played one of those games that can either get Rex Ryan into the playoffs or fired, basically. Because the inconsistency, it's just crazy where he some plays where he outplayed Brady was good, and then it was just like that fumble.
Where's Tebow?
Those interceptions.
Okay, see.
Where's Tebow?
Okay, so I'll give them credit for actually pushing this game into overtime.
So actually, the stats were almost similar, except for the interception and that fumble. Sanchez was 28 for 41, 328 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 fumble. Brady was 26 for 42, 259 yards with 2 touchdowns.
And no interceptions.
No interceptions.
No fumbles.
0 fumbles.
This is one of those cases where I frankly thought the Jets would lose this game automatically. I thought this was an automatic
when Nick
loss.
Folk made that field goal. Did he make about 2 field goals, if I'm not mistaken?
I was confused when I think down the stretch, I just feel like the Jets, what is it with this team?
I don't know.
Do you know, David?
They're
do you
cursed.
know?
They're pretty much cursed. Because you know
From
what?
Rex Ryan's mouth.
Yeah, and that they should have built a I'll get on my horse. They should have built a stadium out in Queens or Long Island where all their fan base really is. They're still sharing Giant Stadium. Call it MetLife Stadium, whatever. It's still Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
But Sanchez I think is snake bit. I think Rex doesn't know what to do with Tebow. I don't think Rex wanted Tebow on the team.
I don't think they wanted Tebow on the team. I think that was a management decision.
It's to get tickets. It was to sell jerseys and get
PSL.
people in the seats. The PSL.
And which I don't see happening as much.
It's empty.
And even frankly, with them having this talent, and I think the good thing when they brought in Sperano was that you look at how he managed the Dolphins and thought, okay, he can run this Wildcat.
Yep. Definitely.
But even when we see Tebow in the Wild, we've seen more of Tebow.
As a wideout?
Yeah,
he lined up as a wideout.
He's playing better with the sneak
punting
attacks.
team, or with the punting team. Yeah,
than he is,
plays.
as a wide receiver, as a running back, as a quarterback. I mean, we haven't really seen too much of him in the Wildcat being successful. So what exactly is it that they're doing, especially when Mark Sanchez, even though he threw for a lot of yards, I mean, I wasn't impressed by his game at all.
And even Tebow, he was 4 carries for 12? It was 12 yards.
I think the whole idea is, it does make the other teams have to think about Tebow during the week, so they take a couple hours to game plan him. But after that, it's like, so what?
I think that's how the season started.
What are they saving him for?
That's how the season started. Remember, preseason, they wouldn't show us anything.
Yeah.
Media couldn't go in. And then they won that first game, scored a whole bunch of points, even though they only scored 1 touchdown in the preseason. That was always the question on offense. But then finally we see Tebow, and we're not seeing anything. And Mark Sanchez is not helping his own case.
The production is minimal.
It's bad. It's bad, and I think the Jets really went away from their original game plan. I think down the stretch they had the option to actually run the ball, and they didn't. They decided to throw.
We're not seeing that ground and pound.
At all. They've said this for like the past couple of years. There really is no ground, and we saw Sean Green, I think, break out last week, so we were all excited. But I'm not afraid of them on the ground, and I'm not afraid of them in the air.
No, I think what yesterday's game didn't show how great the Jets are. I think it still shows maybe the Patriots aren't that Super Bowl luck. They lost in Seattle last week, which was a tough game being in Seattle always. But then to make it down to the wire against the hated Jets, and crazy things happen between the Jets and the Patriots every year. The Jets have gone up there and won before. But and then the Patriots, I think, are playing an away game in London next week, so who only knows? I think they're playing the Rams, which is a tough team, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on Brady. I think Brady's got a tough. The Patriots, there's no lock there. I think if we're going to go AFC, you got to look at those Houston Texans who were crazy over the Ravens yesterday.
Yeah, number 1.
Let's talk about that then. Let's switch over to that.
Who is actually number 1 in the AFC?
Is it the Texans?
In their division.
It's got to be, right? They beat the Ravens, and
it has to be.
And they dominated.
They really actually did dominate, and I was actually surprised. I know Ray Lewis is gone for the season. They put him on the IR where maybe he can come back. Haloti Nada's playing injured. They lost, what's his face? What's the other guy that they lost?
Was it Ray Rice?
No. The other guy on defense, I can't think of his name at the moment. I'll look it up. And then also we had Terrell Suggs coming back after he tore his Achilles partially torn. That's the only reason why whatever that means. I mean, my knee hurts. It's been hurting for months. I don't know what's wrong with it. So,
And you're here today.
Right, and I can barely walk down the stairs. So, and I'm wearing heels. So, but for him to come back and play yesterday after about 6 months removed from Achilles surgery, I think was huge for them. But it didn't really show too much on that on the field. He tried.
He tried, and Flacco, didn't see that game, but it looks like Joe Flacco sort of failed yesterday.
Where was Flacco?
There was nothing. Did he have any? Did he get any completions, any yards?
Oh,
it was not so impressive. But I think I think it was a great game for Houston bouncing back after Green Bay came into their stadium and demolished them last week. I think that was a big win for Houston. They're going into the bye week. Baltimore's going into the bye week also. Everybody can rest up and they can get prepared for whoever it is they're playing. They're playing next week. But I think right now Houston is certainly the class of the AFC. I think, some team from the AFC East, the Jets, the Patriots, who knows, maybe, probably not Buffalo, But we'll see next week. Actually, Miami playing the Jets. Miami can sneak in.
I think Miami.
They'll
can
have
sneak
one
in.
team.
Yeah.
They'll have one team. The
Everybody's
AFC
4-3, 3-4.
Right,
I mean, it's
right.
so tight and so close. And like you said earlier, is you're looking at this Patriots team and you kind of assume that it's the same Patriots of old, but it's actually not. This is almost wide open. And was it not for yesterday's fumble by Mark Sanchez on the final play of the game, we may be talking a different
game.
story right
definitely.
now. And that's another thing. Who gets the blame for that fumble?
Mark Sanchez.
Is that Mark Sanchez? Is that the offensive line letting the defender go to
Mark
around
Sanchez.
him? He's gotta
because
hold
he's
that
not
ball,
a
right?
rookie. He has to hold onto the ball. He has to have more sense than that to know.
If it was 2009,
and
I
it's
could understand.
overtime. It's not even like it's the third quarter, even just the fourth with time left on the clock. This is overtime, and if this ball comes out of your hands and it goes to the defender, and they've already kicked that field goal and scored, then this game is over. And they were so close. They were so close. And like I said, Mark Sanchez is really not helping himself. He's really not helping his case.
His team.
No, he's not. And for everyone to be clamoring for Tim Tebow even before the season started,
What is it
Tim
change?
Tebow's going to come in soon by the 5th, 6th week of the season when Mark Sanchez throws his first interception. Or maybe it's when Mark Sanchez cost us the first game.
He
Well,
cost
did
us
he
more than
cost
the first game.
Did he just cost
already.
you? He caused you yesterday's game.
Yeah,
Cost you
exactly.
Yesterday's game.
So, but even with that said, we haven't even seen Tebow in his element, and they haven't been able to use him effectively. So how exactly does that end up working out? Do they stick with Sanchez? Do they incorporate more Tebow? Do they switch out Sanchez for Tebow?
Well, that's the thing. I think if you put Tebow in, you have to change your game plan. You're
The
changing
entire
your
game plan.
entirely. And you know what? And Sanchez threw for over 300 yards yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the crazy
Yeah.
thing. He
Yeah.
threw, and Stephen Hill, the rookie, had a big drop that could have clinched the game
Oh, that
for
was
them.
huge.
You know what? That's a rookie. He's on my fantasy team, of course. So that was
nice.
Of course he is.
That was the one
Right.
thing that hurt. I'm like, seriously? That's what I get for having a Jet on my team.
man.
But it's like, seriously? That could have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
Could have got me some points.
Yeah, I could have
But-
extended their drive and taken time off the
Or
clock.
he could have
and-
scored.
Or he could have
for a
scored,
touchdown.
and he was pretty much wide open.
Yep. Yeah. No, he was. He dropped the ball. He just dropped the ball.
Oh, and that's one of those rookie mistakes where it wasn't like San Antonio. Oh, wait, what's his name? Santonio Holmes,
Right.
who was out for the season. But it wasn't like a veteran making with a drop like that. It was a rookie still, and he's actually come in and actually played relatively well considering
well.
the circumstances
For sure.
that he has been thrust into. All right. So, the Ravens actually lost that game like we were talking about earlier. The Texans beat the crap out of them, 43-13. Literally, 43-13. That Ravens team, I'm interested to see how they go the rest of the
2
season.
interceptions and was sacked 4 times.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, that was not a good day for him.
Yeah, no, not at all. And what else? Who else played yesterday that was really kind of exciting that we enjoyed?
Well, the Cowboys.
The
Girls.
Cowgirls, yes.
New York.
I can't say the other name that I call them because this is a community radio show.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. But the Cowboys actually won yesterday. We were talking about Cam Newton. Were we talking about Cam Newton? Was I saying
Cam
that right?
Newton's
Comparing to
emotional.
RG3.
Did you see his
Yeah.
post-game conference speech?
I did. I'm not very happy that the Cowboys won, but, whatever. But the Panthers, I'm really surprised by that team because I think Cam Newton coming into this year, like you said earlier, the
And the
sophomores
Panthers are
slump.
1-5 actually.
Yeah,
right now.
now they're 1-5, and the question is how. Okay, from last season, it was that Cam Newton's playing well, they're just not getting the wins. So when this season started, everyone was thinking, all he has to do is play his same game, but translate, all the yards and all the touchdowns into actual wins. He's actually done the complete opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
The complete opposite. He looks dejected. The team is dejected. They can't win a game. They lose to the Cowboys. What's going to happen?
Yeah, you know what? And he's got to take the blame. If that was Eli would have said, you know what? I blew it. I lost the game. His quote here, whether it's me, I don't know. Whether it's the coordinator, I don't know. Whether it's the players, I don't know. Whether it's my mother, I don't know.
This
Whether it's the guy who's selling popcorn in the stands, I don't know. You say it's me. I'm the man. I'm the leader. You know what? You want to praise me when we win the game?
Fine, I'll
it's
take
me.
that.
Take it.
And you got to hit me. I got to accept it when
Yeah.
I lose the game. That's what
Yeah.
we were saying. RG3, I think, understands that.
Yeah.
He gets that as a
Yeah.
rookie. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make him a leader. And that was a great win for the Cowboys because they needed that.
They
They
at
needed
that
it. They're
point,
3-3 now,
I
right?
wasn't happy about
Yeah.
it, but they needed that win to stay out of last place.
And they also fire the general manager now.
Of who?
Panthers.
For the Panthers.
Ah.
People are making all kinds of rash decisions these days.
Marty
Even
Herney.
the Eagles are doing some other stuff.
The Eagles, like the Browns, got rid of people.
When is Andy Reid gonna go?
After they lose to the Falcons next week.
Is that what it's going to be?
We'll see.
I felt
But
bad
Andy
because
Reid
what's
has
his-
been there for so long,
Yeah.
and it's just.
Isn't he the longest tenured coach,
I think
head
so.
coach?
And he's had
It's the
such a
same-
tough year with his son
I was
killing
gonna
himself
say,
or dying.
His son dying. Can you even?
So maybe they might
you
keep
really
him
fire
around
him?
for the rest of the season just because of that
Respect.
incident.
Can
Yeah.
you even fire him after the season? His son just died, then he
Yeah.
loses his job.
Business is business.
That's true. Well, if business was business, they would have gotten rid of him a while
Long
ago
time
because
ago.
they've been knocking on this Andy Reid's
Mm-hmm.
and on Andy Reid's door for quite some time now. Bringing in Michael Vick seemed like a great idea, but Michael Vick can't get out of his own way. He's like, what do you do with a guy like Mike Vick?
He needs
At this
you,
point.
you need to put stickum on those gloves of his because he just keeps dropping
He
the ball
can't,
too much.
he can't hold on to the ball. He can't take care of the
He's
ball.
also not, he's not 24 years old anymore either, so he's not quite the Michael Vick who came out of college who blew us all away when he was with the Falcons. So,
Yeah.
he's had time off as we all know, and he's just not careful.
time off.
I like the way
It
he
was
said
a
it.
time
calls
off.
it time
I'm
off.
trying to be respectful
When
here.
he was on vacation
a little,
in prison.
A little time
Right.
off in Leavenworth. This is lovely Club Leavenworth. I don't think he enjoyed that so much.
Yeah.
But then again, it might be better. He might have enjoyed that more than enjoying what the Eagles fans are telling him.
Right now, exactly, yeah, because frankly, it's like Michael Vick, who was the other one? Mark Sanchez. Those are like two quarterbacks that I'm looking at. Like, you can really save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Save
your team.
yourself, and not even the team, but save yourself, save your job. You're not doing it. And even when the season started, when Andy Reid's son committed suicide, unfortunately, Michael Vick said this: "We're gonna do this
We're
for,
gonna do it
for
for
Andy
Andy
Reid's
Reid's
son,
son.
for Garrett Reid."
Yeah.
Or is that his name, Garrett? Right? I think.
I think so. He has two. He had both of his sons are in trouble.
Yeah,
That's
which
the thing.
is I
It
don't
sort of says
I don't know
something
who to
about the
blame in
family.
that case.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Is that Andy Reid's fault?
You know what? Let's. Not there. We're not there behind closed doors. So let's not get up. Yes, it is. Who was that just walked in the studio and said that? I don't know. Boy, you got everyone. You got me walking in.
Strangers.
Yeah. But it was an interesting. There was an exciting game that I don't think anybody watched. The Titans-Bills game, 35-34.
34, right.
You know who's watching? Or that and the Raiders-Jaguars game. That was overtime. Games nobody really necessarily cares about.
Nobody cares about.
In this neck of the woods.
Plus, with the scheduling and with whatever cable you have and
Yeah,
TV
yeah,
that you
yeah.
can watch,
At least we got interesting. Hey, if you're a New York fan and you were able to sit in front of your TV yesterday, that Giants-Redskins game was great,
awesome.
3
It was
hours.
amazing.
And then the Jets-Pats game was a
was
great,
also
great 3 hours.
even the overtime thriller
Yeah, it was
where
exciting.
it was.
Where I was on the edge of my bed. It's like, oh my god.
All right, yeah. So you did say the Titans beat the Bills 35-34. We had the Colts actually winning yesterday as well.
Andrew
beating
Luck.
the Browns 17-13. Andrew Luck.
He had
a-
luck this week. Last
he
week,
did.
not so much.
Yeah, he had luck this week, but he didn't really have. Oh, he
didn't
actually
play
ran.
great.
But he didn't play great, but he ran for 2 touchdowns.
And he actually became the first Colts quarterback to run for 2 touchdowns in a game since 1988.
Well, that's because Peyton
Manning
really
didn't
just-
do it. Yeah.
that was a Peyton Manning thing there. But no, he's going to be a great quarterback. You know, I think he and RG3. When you look at the two of them in 10 years, and what's his name, Brandon Whedon from the Browns.
He threw for
who
247 yards.
I think he's thrown for more yards than Luck has.
Yeah.
But Luck's probably going to be around a lot longer
Yeah, I think so.
than Whedon's going to be.
And Whedon's already like in his like a
45. I
geriatric,
think,
right?
I think he's 45, something like that.
He has 1 foot in the nursing home already, so and he has like 3 kids or something. No, he doesn't. Grandkids and stuff. But we have the Packers beating the Rams. That Rams team is so suspect. I don't expect
You don't
anything
trust
from
them
No,
at all.
But that Packers team with that record at 4-3, even with some of the questionable calls and sort of
Seattle
right, exactly, that have happened to them. That record is also interesting. The Vikings beat the Cardinals. They're now 5-2. 21-14 was the final score in that one.
Did you read? Someone said in the paper. I thought it was kind of funny. Can you really be afraid of a team where their stars are named Adrian, Percy, and Christian? Really? Oh, I'm scared of Adrian and Christian.
It's Percy.
Percy. That's not scary names. I don't know. It's great.
Pretty.
Yet they're winning. So,
Yet they're winning, yeah.
So much time there. And then you got Drew Brees again and the Saints. And that was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Excuse me, heck of a game.
No, you can say that. That's
Oh,
okay.
can I keep saying it
No,
over
no.
and over
Well,
and
no,
over
yeah,
again?
sure. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Why not?
That Saints team is another team with that awful record. The way they started the season, not even just the way they
2-4.
started the season, the way
They played.
The off season start.
Yeah,
I mean,
the whole the NFL, the way that's going to be interesting how that comes down with the law. Who's going to get rich? The lawyers are going to get rich out of this, in the end, of course. Defending all the Saints players, defending the coaches, defending the NFL, all of that. But it does go to show though that coaching does matter. I think a lot of people said, the Saints are still going to be a great team. They got Drew Brees. And he's going to lead the team. Well, you know what? He couldn't necessarily do it all the time. He needs the coaching to bring in that game plan.
And we have somebody on the air with us. This is WHCR 90.3 FM. You're listening to Sports at the Half. Who's calling and what's your name?
This is MK Rob from Atlanta, Georgia.
MK. Rob.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? I know you're excited your Cowboys won.
Ugh.
Boo.
Not really. I mean, they won. Wow. I'm so excited.
Oh, he's really not that excited.
Not high on his Cowboys, huh?
I'm not happy with the Cowboys. Wow, we won. Congratulations, great. We beat Cam Newton. We got the GM fired. Wow. Good.
You know what though? It was a road victory. I think that coming off the bye. I think you were coming off the bye, weren't you? And it was an important win for the Cowboys, considering you got the Giants going into Cowboy Stadium next week, and the Giants are not afraid of playing in that big stadium. If you remember the very first game played at Cowboy Stadium, the new stadium, the Giants did come in and they destroyed the Cowboys.
The Giants are the only team that comes into the Cowboy Stadium and beat our whats, but that's fine. We got them once this year in New York. I'm actually happy with that because if I'm not mistaken, the last couple of years we haven't beaten you guys at all.
Nope, not at all. So what do you think? What changes do the Cowboys have to make? Is Tony Romo your quarterback? They sign him for that long-term contract or no?
No.
Well, no, Tony Romo is not our quarterback. I've never been a fan of Tony Romo. I've been a fan of the Cowboys since '88, and I guess I'm spoiled by Troy Aikman. But he's not our quarterback. I believe our quarterback is a first-round pick. I don't think our quarterback, every once in a while you get your Tom Brady, but your best quarterbacks are your Peyton Mannings, your Andrew Lucks, your Robert Griffins, your Joe Flacco.
Excuse me, your Eli Manning?
Eli Manning is another one. I think you build around that first-round quarterback, and Tony Romo's undrafted, so I don't think that's our guy.
So what are you guys going to do?
Well, what I want to do is never what Jerry Jones does. So, I think we need to just kind of rebuild this thing. Romo and Witten are really getting up there in age. And, the rest of our team is young. We got a young running back with DeMarco. We got, young receiver, Des Bryant, cornerback, Morris Claiborne, Do
you even trust Des Bryant?
I hate to say it's on the radio, but it's just how I feel. We're not going to really be good until either Jimmy Johnson comes back or Jerry Jones dies.
Oh my God!
So here, I'll throw it at her. What do you think? How about bringing in next year? You got Jason Garrett. He's a nice little coach and all. But what if the coach from Alabama, University of Alabama, wants to come back and go into the pros? Do you bring him in as your coach? Give him another chance?
I don't.
Nick
because.
Saban?
I don't do that because I'm an odds man. I'm a numbers man, and the numbers show that college to pro does not do very well. So unless your name is Jimmy Johnson or Barry Switzer, which was with my Cowboys, of course, from the Oklahoma background, it's not going to work. I prefer to have somebody like a Bill Cowher come in there or Tony Dungy even come in there.
You're trying to bring guys out of retirement? You trying to bring guys out of retirement to deal with Jerry Jones?
Yeah, because I don't see anyone else in the NFL that can do it. The Cowboys are successful when they have that, go get them. We don't have any leadership. We don't. We don't have any vocal Michael Irvin type leadership, so we need a coach that's going to do that. And
how can
I don't see a coach that's going to do that right now.
But how can someone do that with an owner like Jerry Jones, who pretty much seems to control every aspect of your team?
Well, that's true, but we had Bill Parcells who did it.
Oh, well, that's Bill Parcells.
Who came in and did it, and that was another coach that I actually approved of, and that's why I said either we bring somebody like Jimmy Johnson back or Jerry Jones dies. Otherwise, I think we're going to be 8-8 every single year.
Well, how about this? A guy who I think is going to be looking for a job next year, Andy Reid.
Ooh.
I don't want him either because
you got a double O on that one.
To me. What I mean, what have you done for me lately is the the Janet Jackson song. I haven't seen him do anything with the Eagles. His philosophy is off. I mean, you try to pick Vince Young, Ronnie Brown, all these different guys from other teams and expect to win. It doesn't work. I think he needs to retire. I want like Bill Cowher. I wish I could steal Tom Coughlin from you guys. I love that guy.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen. Thank you.
Exactly.
Tom Coughlin's gonna retire Giants coach, please. He's already in his 70s.
I think if the Cowboys fall apart, you'll get rid of Jason Garrett. If the Cowboys tweak out a 9-7 record and maybe get a wild card, I don't think they're gonna get rid of Jason Garrett.
I agree with you. Unfortunately, I agree with you because I want him out. Yeah. I need an aggressive guy in there. I love Jason Garrett. He could be my offensive coordinator, but not my head coach.
Mm-hmm. Who did you guys have right before Jason Garrett?
Wade Phillips, wasn't
Wade Phillips. And like you said, you need an aggressive personality.
I called him Droopy. His name is Wade Phillips.
Yeah, but look what he's done with Houston's defense. He's not a head coach. He's a great coordinator, though.
And that's what Jason Garrett is. Jason Garrett is not a head coach. He's a great coordinator, and that's why I need someone else in there like Bill Cowher. He's a head coach.
Yeah, you need a principal, not just a teacher. I understand.
Exactly.
All right, okay, we're going to take a little, actually, since you're actually on the air with us, tell everyone where they can find you because we have to take a quick break. It's about halftime.
Okay, that's, so many of them.
Sleeper Athletes
is my business Twitter name, and that's also Sleeper Athletes on Facebook and at Real MK Rob on Twitter.
All right, sounds great, man. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye. All right, guys, it's halftime on the show. You've been a lot of fun, David.
Oh, I had a good time.
You don't have to leave. That wasn't it. Okay.
Halftime, halftime entertainment. I'll hang out for a few more. You're here till 6.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, we're here till 6.
We'll play. We'll talk sports.
All right, so we have a little bit more football talk coming up. Let's even talk about the Knicks a little bit. We'll do some basketball
or the
stuff.
Nets. Because now it's the Brooklyn
Now
Nets.
we can talk about the Nets, right?
2 New York teams.
Ooh,
and your homie Amari Stoudemire is...
He's hurting.
And my homie,
usual.
E-Man Shumpert is supposedly a rapper.
I didn't hear about that. Oh, I can't wait till we come back. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk about all of that. Thank you guys so much for listening to WHCR 90.3 FM, the official voice of Harlem. This is Sports at the Half every single Monday. I'll give you the number on the flip side, because I don't want anyone calling now, because, the lines are on fire. No, they're not. Oh, please call in. We'll be back.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
The World Evangelical Deliverance Church Incorporated presents the 53rd anniversary of Reverend Dr. Ruth Singletary on Saturday, November the 10th, 2012. Doors open at 2. Program starts at 3 at the New Covenant Temple of United Holy Church of America, 1805 Amsterdam Avenue, a corner of 149th Street in New York City. From Mississippi, it will be the Jackson Southerners. From Mississippi, the 5 Blind Boys. The Timothy Wright Memorial Choir.
Whatever
The Gospel Slide Minister, Brother Derek Smith. The legendary Roscoe Robinson, former of the Blind Boys of Mississippi and Alabama. Little Sammy and the Mighty Flying Clouds. Deacon Williams and the Soul Converters. The Peoples Brothers. Eddie and the Joy Wonders. The Sunset Jubilees. The Fantastic Solinaires. Brother Lenny Stewart Jr. Your MC, Sister Liz Black. Sister Virginia Cotton, and Dalton Anderson. It's all happening on Saturday, November the 10th, at the New Covenant Temple of United Holy Church of America, 1805 Amsterdam Avenue, a corner of 149th Street in New York. No tickets at the door. No tickets at the door. For information, you can call 347-346-8365. That's 347-346-8365. Dr. Ruth Singletary's 53rd anniversary, featuring the Jackson Southerners. Saturday, November the 10th. Saturday, November 10th. For more information, 347-346-8365. This is Dalton Anderson. I'll see you there.
Are you a singer, a musician, or a producer? Are you looking to record a demo, a song, or an entire album? This is Angela Harden, General Manager of WHCR 90.3 FM, and I'm excited to tell you that you no longer have to travel all the way downtown to record your project. WHCR offers a state-of-the-art recording studio with an experienced engineer. Our studio is affordably priced and conveniently located in the heart of Harlem, right here on the campus of City College. For rates and information, please call 212-650-7147. That's 212-650-7147. Harlem has its own radio station and its own recording studio.
The San Francisco.
There's always fun things happening behind the scenes.
Halftime entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. And we have some more entertainment for you guys while we end this show.
I just saw something. Ray Allen.
Okay, let's end up with this football talk really quickly, and we'll round this out, and then we'll get into some basketball, maybe even a little baseball if we have time at the end. I didn't even realize this, but Charles Woodson actually broke his collarbone. And it says he should be out for 6 weeks, but that's a long time considering we're already in week 7.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs for him, hopefully, for that team. Tom Coughlin and Ahmad Bradshaw got into it because Ahmad Bradshaw, even with his bad feet and all, wants a bigger role, and it doesn't even help that, what's the younger kid's name that's coming in and
Wilson.
doing the most? Wilson.
David Wilson.
Is actually efficient and fast and could take his job.
Not going to happen yet.
Not yet,
Not
but
gonna happen
Ahmad
yet.
Bradshaw came into this week. Remember, after the past couple of weeks, all that heavy workload that he had, rushing for almost 200 yards or whatever. Now he came into this game. He said it had nothing to do with his surgery, but he said his feet were hurting. So they kept him out of practice for quite some time. So this will be an interesting way to look at the rest of the season. If Ahmad Bradshaw is already upset that he didn't get, he's upset with his role in the offense, and Wilson is running well.
Wilson's running
Shout
and Brown too.
And Brown too.
Brown.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ahmad Bradshaw and his sister Danielle Bradshaw, who I actually met in the club, and she gave me her number. She's really nice with their real country.
Ooh. Yeah, call her.
Let's get her on the air.
Yeah.
Their real
Say what's
country.
up with your brother.
Yeah. What's up with your brother, and how can we get him in the studio?
Well, there, he's like from Virginia, right, or West Virginia?
I don't know
He's-
where they're
he's
from.
Somewhere down there.
But they're real country. That's the nicest way to put it.
Oh.
Okay, and at this point, we only have one team left in the NFL that's undefeated. That's the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think anyone looks at the Atlanta Falcons like they're the best team in the NFL. That undefeated record, frankly, for me, they could be 5-1, they could be 5-2, they could be 4-3, and I frankly wouldn't care. I don't really like that Falcons team. They're good. I don't think they're great. I think that record is
Well, they're playing
misleading.
and they're playing at Philadelphia next week. Both teams coming off the bye. Philadelphia needs the win. I don't know. I think it's a setup game for Atlanta to lose.
Yeah, that's one of those trap games.
Yep.
I don't, and frankly, please, Michael Vick. I mean, your story was so amazing after you killed all those puppies. For you to and then went to prison, for you to come back and then play well last year and then play like this. I mean, seriously, guys, get it together. I need him to pick it up. Tonight we have the Lions, the 2-3 Lions versus the 4-1 Bears. I think they always play each other close. This Lions team is kind of weird too.
Stafford's not, I don't think he's thrown a touchdown to Megatron yet this year. So
Which
that's
hurts
surprising.
everyone's fantasy.
Calvin Johnson,
Yeah.
everyone picks him 1-2, and I don't think he's caught one touchdown yet this year.
That is
the video game curse right there.
Is he on the cover of Madden? Is Johnson on there? Oh, there you go.
Oh, that stuff is real.
It is.
Oh,
something always happens. It's crazy.
Okay. All right. So all right. So let's switch into a little bit of basketball news. If you guys have been paying attention, Amari Stoudemire is out 2 to 3 weeks with a cyst in his knee.
He ruptured his cyst, and you remember back in 2005, he had like a microfracture surgery. And that's when he had got that $100 million contract.
That's what's been, his knee has been his issue since he was in Phoenix.
You know, when you're 7 feet tall and the pounding you get
Andrew
running
Bynum,
up and down.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. The body is not meant for that.
You're not meant to be that large and do that much.
No, and jumping up and down all the time.
It's too much.
No, it's tough. But we need him back. And, although last year when he was out, the Knicks actually did pretty darn well, right?
Yeah.
Because, as they were saying, Carmelo and Chandler, they have a better chemistry than Amari and Carmelo. But now Carmelo is saying this year, I saw a quote like in the probably training camp, he was like, I'm ready to pass the ball and let other people score.
Yeah.
Which was the biggest problem we had last year.
That everyone was calling him selfish and saying that he wasn't willing to share the ball.
And even J.R. Smith always trying to dunk the ball or do
those
three-pointers.
Those
three-pointers,
I remember
which
one
is
game he
crazy
won
and
1 for
ridiculous.
11. I was actually there. I was pissed. I was like, why do you keep jacking those up? And why are you letting him? I think Mike D'Antoni may have been in charge at that point. So
I think that's the problem we have with Knicks players. Like, you remember Gallinari? Who was like, why would Gallinari take those shots? You remember he used to be like 3 for 11 or something crazy, and it's just like, don't do that.
Well, that's that's also a different product of a different coach. That was Mike D'Antoni's running gun system.
Yeah.
Now we have Mike Woodson, who is more defensive minded. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what he can do with a full season under his belt, not a shortened season like last year. Exactly. A full 82-game season. We'll see what they're able to actually do with a coach who cares more about defense than, jacking up shots with 20 seconds left in the shot clock.
And if the Knicks team, I'm sorry, if the Knicks team is about defense, then you got those guys that moved across, through the tunnel, through a couple tunnels to Brooklyn, who are going to be about offense.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of excitement there. And if they're scoring points, and you got, more of the celebs moving over that way as compared to the front row of the Knicks games.
Yeah. Especially considering Jay-Z is one of the owners.
We'll always know that our mascot, Spike Lee, will always be in the front.
Our mascot.
That's the crazy thing. He's all Brooklyn. My life's Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He's like, he can't be a Nets fan.
No, he can't be.
He's got to be a Knicks. He's a Knicks fan.
Yeah. That's tough.
He's a Knicks fan. But the Knicks will be interesting.
So Omari will be out for a while, for 2 to 3 weeks.
Allegedly.
So that means if he's out for 3 weeks, he will miss 5 games, basically, including 1 against Miami, 2 against Atlanta, and
the season opener,
Philly and Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And our season opener is against the Nets on November 1st, which I might be in the building. Are you going to be there? I have to be at the first game. The first or the second game.
I don't mind being there later.
I want to go. I don't know. I think the hype is all about the first couple of games, and then after that, it's just going to be like,
yeah, after that, then I'll probably go.
It's going to be like, I don't want to be there. Too much traffic, too much craziness.
I just take the 2 trains straight down from Wakefield.
I take the Long Island Railroad because, since I live in the borderline of Long Island and Queens, I just have to.
Okay. But it takes me a while to get there. Yeah. It's probably going to take me almost as long as it took me to get to Jersey. I hate it.
It's easier. At least you got the subway right there.
Yeah. One train, straight down, exactly.
Atlantic Avenue area.
Yeah, I don't have to transfer to any PATH train or what?
Yeah,
I don't even take what is that thing? I don't get it.
Hey, did you guys know that there was actually a basketball championship game last night? How many people cared about that?
There was a
championship
the Lynx
game
lost.
about that. I didn't
the Lynx
even know
played
there was a WNBA
Who was the winner?
anymore.
I know the Lynx lost, but I don't know who the winner is, and that's really bad.
Mystic.
No.
There you go.
No.
Nope. Jazz.
No.
Jazz. Snazzy.
The Indiana
Fever.
Ding, ding, ding.
Fever.
Tamika Catchings.
Yeah.
Remember her? Tamika from Whcr. She was big in college. Tennessee.
All I remember is Maya Moore from UConn last year.
This is whack.
But isn't Maya Moore on a Lynx?
Did anyone watch that? I've seen it when I go through my guide.
Yeah, it's like, they're still in WNBA.
I'm like, they're still playing stuff. Yeah. They're doing stuff still. Which is bad.
And it's bad because they give away free tickets. They will give away tickets.
They've hit me up to give me free tickets. I didn't even give them away on the air.
And courtside at that.
Yeah.
Courtside
tickets. $20 to sit courtside to see the Liberty play. And it doesn't help them that Madison Square Garden is going through that whole renovation. So they were playing in Jersey this whole time.
That's why.
For the past 2 years, they've been playing in Jersey.
At the Rum,
at the Prudential
and
Center.
they actually take the PATH train
The team?
The team takes the PATH train. That's not funny, but it is funny.
That's funny.
Oh, that's offensive. Look how they playing, y'all.
They take the PATH train to and from their games.
I've watched some WNBA, and it's actually, we make fun of it because it's the WNBA, but it's actually not the worst thing ever invented.
It's an outlet.
It's just one of the worst
for women who play. Invented. I'd rather go overseas and play ball than go to WNBA.
And they make a lot of money overseas. Women's basketball overseas is like in Turkey and Russia. They actually pay them serious salaries.
And it's tax-free money.
Say word.
I love tax-free money.
Somebody give me a basketball.
Mitt Romney must own a team then, right?
Oh! Shout out to Obama.
Oh, man. This is great. This is a great show today.
Yeah, this is fun today. I like this.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes. Yeah, right. Thanks, David. Gilbert Arenas, since we're talking a little basketball overseas, is about to join Tracy McGrady in China. What? God.
Really?
Who is Gilbert Arenas again? Oh, the guy with the gun.
With the guns in Washington.
Boom, boom.
Who else was in
China? Talking about that, you remember that whole locker room controversy? What was it, 2 years ago or a year ago? Andre Blatch is now on the
Nets. Yeah.
And Andre Blatch is one of my friend's clients.
Does he have guns? Now he might have guns.
There's a story coming.
He has a lot of problems, which we can talk about off the air, not on the air.
That should be fun.
A lot of bad habits.
You guys can't stick around.
So we'll see how.
You need the web show, the after, the after show.
Yeah,
right?
behind the bleachers.
Right. Oh.
We've been talking about this for a while. We may have to do this.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I think there'll be demand. I'm going to let people know about this.
Thank you. Gilbert Arenas is trying to join Tracy McGrady, and I feel bad for Tracy McGrady. The career that he had was awesome.
I still have a Tracy McGrady Orlando Magic jersey, number 1.
Jeez.
Wow. Hey, Allen Iverson was playing in China last year, right?
Yeah. I think he won a championship.
Did Marbury go over there?
Yeah. Stephon Marbury went when Allen Iverson played this past season. He actually won a championship.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't Wilson Chandler still in China or Japan or?
No, I think he's back. Okay. I think he's back, but he had to wait till he got out of his Chinese contract in order to come here and actually play. But yeah, this is, sometimes it's, how the mighty have fallen, but you get in where you fit in. I mean, Stephon Marbury, like you mentioned. Now we have Tracy McGrady, who I thought was done with all those injuries, those knees of his.
They'll pay for the name over there, because his jersey, because like you've got that jersey, they over there, they've got the jerseys. Oh, it's a name, NBA player. He's an all-star. He played with Shaq.
And he played with Yao Ming, and now he's going to China.
Right.
Yeah. And it was sad for them to not be able to make it out of the first round for years and years. And considering his career, I think would you consider Tracy McGrady a Hall of Famer?
No,
right?
No. It's kind of like Penny Hardaway. Remember when Penny Hardaway? He was going to be an all-star too. He was going to be a Hall of Famer, but no.
No, it didn't happen.
There's a couple of guys, they start off hot and then disappear.
Yeah. Gilbert Arenas, I think, is one of those as well. Agent Zero is on his way to China.
Ooh, you want to talk about somebody who kind of started off hot and then he retired and now he's back?
Yes, I do.
Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, I love Rasheed Wallace.
Let's talk about Rasheed Wallace.
Mr. Gray Patch.
Rasheed Wallace can be released by January 10th, possibly. But if he's not released, he will get the prorated amount from his $1.352 million salary.
I don't really see him playing for money.
So they're actually saying there might be pros and cons to keeping Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, because he's a little, cuckoo.
And a little old.
And a little old.
What is he, about 30,
35, 36? No, he's probably older than that, right?
Why do the Knicks, why do we do that? Why do we
have a very old
throw
team.
Away players, bring them back? Shout out to Raymond Shelton for that, We should have kept him.
Yeah, it's crazy that we have Marcus Camby back, though. That's going really back to the 90s.
But I like Marcus Camby, and I like sort of even though they're older players, even if you include Jason Kidd in this, even though they're older players, I like the defensive switch the defensive approach that we've taken. No.
Why not?
Bibby. He didn't even do anything last year.
But he's a great player.
No.
He was a
good
player at University of Arizona. He was a great player.
That was a long time ago. Even when he was
what does he won elsewhere? Where has he ever won anything?
No. But I do like Marcus Camby and I like Rasheed Wallace for their defensive intensity, which is really the shift that I think Mike Woodson is trying to make with the team.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take that, especially with these young players that we have, even like a guy like Iman Shumpert.
Who's a rapper.
What?
let's not talk about it.
Why are we upset about this? This could be a nice thing.
It's probably not.
No, this is just going to end up like everybody else.
Have you heard Kobe rap?
You know,
Have you heard Shaq rap? Have you heard
when Shaq was good?
Have you heard Deion Sanders rap?
Phil was my father because my biological wouldn't bother.
Have you heard Deion Sanders rap?
Yeah, and I've seen that video.
Have you heard Ron Artest rap?
Ron Artest is bad. Shaq is
Have you heard
on
the Celtics? Who was on the Celtics? Have you heard him rap? Going through the KFC drive-thru?
What?
Not Ray Allen.
The big one?
No.
Oh no, he's not there anymore.
The bipolar one who's LeBron's mother.
He's bipolar. Oh, little one.
Yes, him.
With the face.
Have you heard him rap?
No.
Right.
No, but Shaq, I think Shaq was the best rapper, and I think Shaq actually sold records. You can't stop the rain.
Oh, gosh.
That was a good song.
Yeah. No.
When it starts to fall.
There you go. All right.
But
you know who he sold the record to.
That was...
Since we're on, like, Rashid Wallace and the Celtics, I saw something that's very interesting. Ray Allen, since now he's all settled in Miami and comfortable, he's saying that the Celtics actually put him in a position where he had to leave. He said he's telling the real story. And he was like, it was a business decision, and the team put me in a position where we had to move.
He should have moved.
He said the situation came down, when his contract situation came down, everybody in my circle, my family, my mother, my brother, my sister, my friends, college,
that's a lot of people.
People from college who watched me since I was in high school and since I was in college, nobody wanted me to re-sign in that situation.
His preschool teacher?
There is so much left in you, and this team isn't taking care of you or treating you right. That's the way I felt.
How much less did the Celtics offer than the Heat? You know, that's what it comes down to.
Did he take less money to go to the Heat, or am I mistaken?
Well, if he took less money, then the Celtics were taking care of him,
well,
right?
Yeah, but then I think in that case, too, look at that team. You have Ray Allen, you have
they're old.
Paul Pierce, and you have Kevin Garnett, and they're all three in the last stages of their career. Mm-hmm. The only hope that they have is Rajon Rondo, and he's a weirdo. Mm-hmm. He's a creep.
He has his moments.
He has a lot of moments.
He's like
a chick.
He's exciting, though. He's an exciting player.
Yeah.
He's an exciting player. But the Heat with Ray Allen to have that three-point opportunity now.
Yeah. Oof. And the Heat have been
They're
actually relatively great from the line.
Mm-hmm.
If you consider even when they had Jason Capono, everyone winning those 3-point contests and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's another name I'm thinking of, but I can't remember it. But yeah, they've actually been pretty good, and I'm actually really excited. And I heard Kevin Garnett is no longer speaking to
Ray Allen
Babies.
Because he left. I know.
I can't deal with Kevin Garnett and his tantrums and his chokes and his mouth and his just recklessness. He just.
I used to love Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett was one of my favorite players in the world. I met him.
I like
Timberwolves. The first time I met him, I almost cried. I was so excited. But then now I look at him, I'm like,
that's like when I saw Russell Westbrook.
You're like a bully and a punk.
Yeah.
I don't like that about you.
He's a bully.
He was stuck up in Minnesota for too many years and too many bad teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy. I was happy he won this championship with the Celtics.
Me too.
You know,
I was happy
good
when
to
that
see
happened.
he got that.
And he still won't shut up.
Ray Allen is still my favorite, though.
All right. So wow, look at all of that. Time flies, and we have
one more thing about the Celtics. Jason Terry. They had a Jason Terry party this Thursday. I didn't get to go, but they had a party, and you know he has the Celtics tattoo.
Right. And you know they're probably not going to win the championship, so that's a waste of space. He could have gotten my face on his arm, and he's not going to win with me either. Anyway, we're going to end the show. It's been great talking to you guys today, as usual. We have some interesting sound to leave you with. Apparently, Lil Wayne saying, what is it? Was that the San Francisco Giants game? And sung Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So we'll end the show like that. Thank you guys so much for listening to another edition of Sports at the Half. We'll be back next week, Monday. And up next, we have Inside Housing with Nellie Hester Bailey. But we'll leave you with this gem.
Thanst for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks, David, for being here. Can people find you someplace?
Bye, girls.
Can people find you someplace?
They can find me, sure, at David Thalberg at Twitter.
At
David Thalberg. Boom.
Can you spell your last name?
I learned it. TH. It's David, and then THALBERG at David Thalberg. I talk sports. I talk food. I talk marketing. You name it.
Ooh,
I talk New York.
Ooh, I like sports. I like food.
New York.
And I like marketing in New York.
Those are all good things.
Those are all great things. All right. Bye, guys.
Go Giants.
Next week, go Giants.
of Reverend Dr. Ruth Singletary on Saturday, November the 10th, 2012. Doors open at 2. Program starts at 3 at the New Covenant Temple of United Holy Church of America, 1805 Amsterdam Avenue, a corner of 149th Street in New York City. From Mississippi, it will be the Jackson Southerners. From Mississippi, the 5 Blind Boys. The Timothy Wright Memorial Choir.
Whatever the time, Lord,
the Gospel Slide Minister, Brother Derek Smith. The legendary Roscoe Robinson, former of the Blind Boys of Mississippi and Alabama. Little Sammy and the Mighty Flying Clouds. Deacon Williams and the Soul Converters. The People's Brothers. Eddie and the Joy Wonders. The Sunset Jubilees. The Fantastic Solinaires. Brother Lenny Stewart Jr. Your MC, Sister Liz Black. Sister Virginia Cotton and Dalton Anderson. Is all happening on Saturday, November the 10th at the New Covenant Temple of United Holy Church of America, 1805 Amsterdam Avenue, a corner of 149th Street in New York. No tickets at the door. No tickets at the door. For information, you can call 347-346-8365. That's 347-346-8365. Dr. Ruth Singletary's 53rd anniversary featuring the Jackson Southerners. Saturday, November the 10th. Saturday, November the 10th. For more information, 347-346-8365. This is Dalton Anderson. I'll see you there.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Cause